So anyway, so what I'm doing now, guys, is I'm helping myself to understand show. I just finished up with a phone call with somebody who is a technician in, let's say, application and web development and stuff like that. But I'm understanding that no matter what, that I realize something. That it's much more how I feel. It's too, let's say, affordable for me to just go and do my life much more greater. But I can afford anything I set my mind to. And I'm learning very quickly about life, and I'm learning to understand straight away that no matter what I'm doing, that they're asking for 100. They're asking for 70 to 170 USD to start per hour, and also they need 80 hours minimum to be able to be doing a job for me per week. So it's not sure how I feel that they are asking for too much for me to give them, and it's not sure how I feel that no matter what I can afford it over time, but no matter what I feel that no matter what that this application is just too much for me to do right now, and I have to figure out a better way for me in terms of life to do this application really quickly. So I'm saying straight away that no matter what, that I'm learning very quickly about the persuasion technique to understand that I realize how affordable everything is. So I'm learning very quickly about life, and I'm learning how to understand straight away that no matter what, that I'm enjoying myself differently, and I'm helping myself to understand straight away that I need to be able to speak over the phone and over the conversation much greater with people. And I'm learning very quickly about life, so no matter what I'm doing, I'm learning very quickly about helping myself to deliver information services, but it's much more how I feel. And how I feel is different. I feel no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life itself. So I'm understanding straight away I need to go and grow myself differently, yeah? I'm learning how to penetrate myself to do greater in terms of work. So I'm understanding how I deserve a greater job for myself anyway. And it's much more how I feel. I have no shame about how I speak and how I do contact and contract work. I'm learning very quickly about life. And I'm learning how to help myself to love my life differently. I feel that other people approach business the usual way, and they approach business excellently, and they have that nice and beautiful way of communicational skills, but it's much more how I feel that I need to develop much more greater certainty inside of myself to go the most affordable way for myself. And it's more how I feel that no matter what, that I need to have time to think about aspects of life that help me grow. But it's more how I can afford anything, and it's more how can I afford it. And I understand I can afford it through working out much more greater ways of dealing with life, and much more ways of better thinking strategies, and I'm delivering content much greater. So it's much more how I feel, and no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life and how to persuade myself to grow. But no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life itself, and I'm going the most affordable way throughout life to help myself to dwell upon life. So I'm learning very quickly about how nice I have to be and how nice I have to do life. So I'm understanding something now very quickly, that no matter what, I'm always ready for something to help myself to do greater for myself. And I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm making sure that no matter what, that I figure out a better way for myself to start the project. But 80 hours per times 120. I mean every single time I understand times 80. I realize they're way overboard of what I can afford. I have to live within my means, and I have to show for it much greater. I have to show for my life much greater. I have to do my life much more in the process of life. I'm learning how to help myself to love life differently. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm learning how application work is done differently and how people go about making application work happen. And now my business over here is never struggling. I'm never struggling in my business, but I feel it's much more how anything is affordable over time, and I can afford it over time. I can always afford anything I want to do. But what I need to do to grow myself differently is a different amount of work, and it's a lot of work to build an application. A little bit that way. I feel that no matter what, I'm learning how I need to help myself to have more money in my life. I'm learning to help myself to grow. So I'm just learning how to develop on better ways of living with my life, moving forward. Help myself to grow myself. I'm learning how to understand straight away how I need to do the 1 hour rule in my life. And now because I do the 1 hour rule in my life, I'm learning very quickly about life and laughter. I'm learning about helping myself to improve myself daily. I'm learning how ready I am. I'm learning how different I am comparing it with other people. And I fought a battle with myself over here in terms of applications and how I need to help myself to see that it's just too much work to do the application for myself at the moment. And I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly how to start the application in a better time. And I'm learning very quickly about life. See, it's all one number. See, although it's much more how I feel. If people work for free and build everything for free, honestly, then this world becomes a better place. If everybody just works out for free to do everything for free, honestly, now I'm understanding that's the case with this place. Honestly, it's much more how people need to work for free. And I'm working for free as much as I can to live my life. And I have the idea to make billions of dollars, but I need to put more money into it. See, it's more how I feel. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to help myself to improve. I help myself to love my life differently, and I'm learning to help myself to grow myself, especially. So no matter what I'm doing, is I'm learning to have evacuation in my life of better thinking strategies, and I'm learning to love my life differently is what I'm doing. And I'm learning to become the best version of myself. I focus upon helping myself to deliver information services much more credibly. And I'm learning to help myself to understand something I need to grow myself differently. I need to help myself to remark much greater about life, so I can actually read something now. I'm going to read something, and that way I read much more to do better. So anyway, so what I'm doing now, guys, is learning from Mark Sixma, and I'm learning from Mark Sixma some music production skills, and I'm learning to see what he's doing in terms of his production. So I'm learning how to actually love myself over here. But I need to have a shower. I need to also groom myself. I need to brush my teeth. I need to read more, and a little bit that way. I need to go and talk more as well, and a little bit that way. So what I want to do now is just keep reading, so I can do much greater. So the thing is, guys, that throughout life you're going to be alone, and you have to understand straight away that if you're alone throughout life, that you're enjoying your life differently, and that you're making sure that no matter what, that you have more than enough success all the time to succeed every single day, and no matter what, you're learning very quickly about life. So no matter what, it's much more how I feel. You guys have to understand straight away how to do business. So to do business, you have to understand you have to grow yourself. You have to grow your ability to love your life differently, yeah? Actually, that's what you have to do. I'm learning something different. I'm learning how to grow myself differently. I'm learning that I need to have a greater time with myself to help myself to succeed differently, and I'm learning how the coronavirus pandemic is, me especially. I'm learning something different anyway. I'm learning how to grow myself within reach so I can do greater. See, anyway, since I'm actually growing myself, guys, I'm actually learning the different architectures of life over here. I'm learning something different about life. I'm learning to invest myself in my reading time into music production courses. I need to be able to grow myself differently. I'm learning how to help myself. So what I need to do is find more ideas to speak these days. And I need to talk more. I need to talk more vocabulary. So what I need to do is help myself to deliver information. So that's what I'm doing. And no matter what I do, I feel like no matter what I do, that I'm just growing myself in the process. I'm growing myself in the process. I'm looking for ideas. I'm looking for inspiration. I'm understanding how everybody has to do their own business on their own. And business is simple, but many fail in business. And our business is for life. I mean, you must understand that what you do with your business is you grow yourself completely. And you have to understand straight away how I feel. I feel that no matter what, that since I'm moving to my mum's house, I have a great way of life over here. And then I understand straight away I have to come and see my dad. I have to be at his funeral. And I understand that. I realise anyway, I'm learning to erupt in a better way. I'm looking to have much more greater sponsorship and greater ways of being and doing life. So I'm understanding straight away how I feel. I feel different. I feel that no matter what, that it's much more how I need to love my life differently. I need to keep the same number with everything. And a little bit that way, move on. I move on and I help myself to see that business is doing much greater. I'm doing much greater with business. But it's much more how I feel. I feel different. I feel nice and beautiful. And what I need to do daily is help myself to support myself daily. with more information. The money is never the way, but words are the way. I promise you. I promise you, words that you give people are the way. I see how people invest their time into friends. And they have friends, but they have no lives. I mean, you understand? And they get together on weekends and stuff like that. And it's a small bunch of group, it's a small group that they have, always. And it's much more how you have to grow yourself differently. And you have to be loyal as a friend. But no matter what, I'm learning very quickly how to talk in a way that never gets people angry. So I understand straight away how I feel. Now, I was talking to get people angry. I mean, you understand? I was very annoying. And if you're somebody who's very annoying, then people dislike it. And they block you and they never want to talk to you again. Because you're just so annoying with your words. When they find you hateful, but they are the ones who are hateful. I mean, you understand? It's much more how you have to understand how to grow yourself. And growing yourself is the best way forward. So, as I grow myself differently, I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to help myself to improve. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm just helping myself. I'm helping myself to love my life. And that's how I feel. I feel different. I'm loving my life. I'm loving my life differently. I'm loving life in a way that I'm moving forward with life. Always. So that's how I feel, and that's how I need to go. I need to go in a way that I'm moving forward. And it's much more how I feel energy. I feel my energy is here. I have my energy. I need to go and grow myself, and it's just how it is. So is my life boring? Nah. It's never boring. I have stuff to do. I have aspects of life to do. But I feel like just reading. I feel like dozing off. But I never feel like dozing off. I feel like closing my eyes and just relaxing. And just doing Netflix and chill and YouTube. And doing my nice beautiful life in consumption of information. I feel like consuming my internet. I feel like consuming my life forward. I feel like looking at my way forward. Looking at different I'm looking at different articles of life. Looking at different ways of being. I have to go learn something. I have to stay curious. I have to read a book or something. Because talking to people now, talking in terms of friends, actually now, I feel that's all a waste of time for me. I promise you. Having friends is a waste of time for me personally. I promise you, they're never there for you. I promise you, friends were never there for me. I promise you. So anyway, so make sure you understand straight away how to love yourself differently. So I found friends that I found myself as a friend the most, but friends are never there for you really. They're never there for you. Especially in your worst times, they're never there for you. Bro, I learned that recently. I'm learning very quickly about life and how to stick up to life much greater. So that I'm learning very quickly about life, but it's the way it is. I'm learning to help myself to grow. And I'm looking at myself over here. I'm absorbing life. I'm looking at different areas of life. I'm looking to talk. I'm looking to love my life, and that's it. For sure, you guys have to understand that you have to learn yourself the greatest art in the world, which is communicational skills, and you have to talk all the time. And the more you talk, the better, and the more you actually live life. See, guys. So what I'm doing now is I'm learning to grow myself differently. I'm learning to help myself to just be careful with everything, and I'm looking to help myself to include myself in a program where I'm helping myself to grow. I have to go get myself new shoes, I have to get myself some new clothing so I can dwell upon life better, so I can wear something more new for myself. And I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to help myself to dwell upon life better. But today, in terms of words, I promise you, I feel that I've been having some better days with words than this. I promise you, although I feel that no matter what, that I'm looking for more ideas, I'm looking for something to say daily. I'm looking for making sure that I'm having a cool interest in terms of my life. I'm making sure that no matter what, that I'm looking for ways to improve. I'm making sure that no matter what, I need to go and do much more videos as well. I need to do much more videos. I need to help myself to relax and to find contentment in myself much more. And I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly around life. I feel I'm going the most affordable way. I feel I'm doing the most I can in terms of life. And I'm learning how to perform and outperform people on YouTube, and I'm learning how to do greater. I'm learning how to understand straight away the nice and beautiful dictionary of life and how I need to go and grow myself differently. So it's much more how I feel. I feel much more different. I feel much more alive. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how to help myself to elaborate. I'm learning to help myself to do life greater. My dog wants to come in the house. See, it's much more how I feel. I'm learning very quickly about life and how to actually do life much greater. So I'm understanding that my hair, in terms of what's going on with my hair, it's much more different and much more alive today than ever before. I'm learning how to grow myself and stay away from places where people who I met in the past are, because I have nothing with them anymore. I'm learning to grow myself and outgrow myself, to do different causes and different ways of being and different ways of doing life. I'm looking to help myself to succeed differently. I'm looking to make sure that I can shape myself into the person I need to be. And I'm learning how to grow myself and outgrow myself differently, and I'm learning from the process of life. I'm learning to become the best version of myself. And it's much more how it is, and it's much more how I feel as well. So I'm learning the differences a lot. I'm learning to help myself to love life. So every single day I'm looking to understand straight away what I need to do. But since I'm so alone about life, and since I'm actually studying something around life, I'm learning to outperform myself and to read something. But once I read something, I'm doing greater. And that's how you guys need to do it. So anyway, so Olivia over here wants to put me on the injection every 3 months, and it's much more how that's because I'm asking for it, and it's much more how I feel that if that's the case, I'm probably sure I can go traveling. I can go travel somewhere, and it's much more how it's much better for me anyway. So what I want to do is learn how to keep growing myself, and I want to keep learning something along the way. So no matter what, I'm learning very quickly that as soon as this coronavirus pandemic lifts off, I can start traveling for a bit of time. And now, do I want to travel somewhere? Probably yes, I do. I want to travel somewhere, but I'm not saying straight away that no matter what, that I ask Jesus Christ, what does he do? I mean, Jesus Christ says that's the thing. I mean, he wants to be with dad, or she wants to be with his dad as much as possible, and then he just wants to go to his mum. Yeah, ask Jesus Christ. I mean, Jesus Christ says, yeah, or she wants to be with his dad and then go to mum. And that's it, and that's how I feel as well. I feel different. I feel that no matter what, that Jesus Christ says that if you want to travel, go travel. And I understand something about life over here. I can wean myself off. I understand straight away that no matter what, that I'm learning very quickly about life. But I'm learning how I can save myself time and progress. I can save myself 6 months of work. So 6 months. I want to see how much 6 times 4 is. 6 times 4. So 24 times 15 divided by 24, which is 15 days of productivity. And let's see over here, which is, I have over here another number, which is 6 times 4. I'd say 24 times 40 divided by 24. So I'll say 40 working days. I save myself working 40 days of the 60 in terms of the 6 months. So I'm not saying straight away that I'm learning very quickly about life. So it's much more how I feel. That no matter what, I can write that in. I save myself part-time. I save myself 15 days part-time. And I feel over here, I'm never angry. I'm never getting angry ever again. And I'm learning very quickly about life. So let's just put over here days. So I say 15 days part-time work. I save in part-time work over 6 months. I'll copy that. Thank you, and the time is now 3 o'clock. And also I save 40 days. I save 40 days. I save in full-time work. I save in full-time work over 6 months. So no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life and freedom and help myself to grow myself personally. So I need to help myself to grow, and that's how I feel. So I need to help myself to do better. So anyway, see what I'm doing over here is I'm learning how, if I go traveling, gosh, they may ask me questions, I don't know. Gosh, they may ask me questions upon how am I getting the money and how am I traveling. Gosh, I can say over here that I'm just getting money from the government and I'm looking for a job while traveling, and that's it. And I'm willing to move, and that's it. And now I understand straight away that then they just move on because I'm serious about it. And that's it. It's much more how I'm learning how to focus upon understanding that they can never see that information, but they see certain information only. So it's much more how I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about loving my life. I'm learning how to figure it out much better for myself. I'm learning to help myself to pronunciate myself much greater. I'm understanding now it's 3 o'clock. And I'm learning how to understand straight away that I'm helping myself to move forward. And I'm moving forward in regards to helping my life to succeed differently, and I'm helping myself to deliver content. So what I want to do is get myself a backpack if I need one. I need to have a backpack for myself if I go a 9-to-5 job. And I'm understanding straight away that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly. Now over the next 9 days, I just freely just walk around and do my content. So it's much more how life is different for me and life is happening. But no matter what, I'm looking for a better way of dealing with my life. I'm learning to help myself to succeed. I'm looking for different ways of thinking. I'm understanding that New South Wales has been pressed in life with the coronavirus pandemic going on. I love life. And I'm understanding straight away that I can get away with it. But the thing is, I'm learning very quickly about helping myself to move forward. I asked Jesus Christ, shall I go to Cairns? Or Jesus Christ says no. Or Jesus Christ says no. Because soon I have to go to a depot. I have to go to a depot very soon. And there's no chance for me to go right now. I promise you it's much more I have to be here. But it's much more from this opportunity here, another opportunity arises where I can go work a 9-to-5 job, and that's a new opportunity for me, personally. And I understand straight away that it's much more how I feel. I'm learning very quickly about loving my life. So the previous 10 days have been just walking around and chilling out in my dad's house over here. I'm learning myself over here. I'm learning how to grow myself. I'm learning how to do life differently. I'm helping myself to improve. But life is different for me now. I'm learning how to help myself to improve. I'm learning to persuade myself to grow my music production as well. I need to grow my music production. And I'm learning how to understand straight away that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life over here. But that's how I feel, and I feel very different. I feel very different. I'm providing content in the world. I'm doing something for nothing. I'm helping myself to improve. And as I improve myself, I'm learning how fast I've been improving myself these days, really quickly. And that's how I feel as well. I feel that nice and beautiful vibe with myself over here. And I'm learning how to develop. I'm learning to develop myself. So it's all about positive talk and positive thinking. And that's how I feel. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm learning how to focus upon helping myself to love life. I love life differently, and I'm loving life all the time, but I'm understanding straight away that friendships die away. Actually, all friendships die away eventually. And it's much more how family stays forever. Actually, family never dies away, but that doesn't really. Actually, no. Actually, family stays and sticks with you, but friends never stick with you. Friends never stick with you. Family sticks with you. But you have to understand straight away that family also goes away as well. And family goes away as well. So all the time you put into yourself is much better of an investment than putting it into your family and other people. It's much more credible for you to put money and time into yourself than other people. I mean, understand? Because then you're really selfish, and you're really selfish with your time, and that way you're really much greater for But that's how you have to understand that you're squeezing all of life to have the juice for yourself. But you're making sure that no matter what, that you're never hurting anybody. In a sense, so it's much more how I feel. And how I feel is very different. So I love I'm learning how to love my life differently. I'm learning how to focus, but have I been reading much today? I read for 1 hour. I read something for 1 hour. I'm understanding that taxes are going up now. I'm learning how other people are successful in different ways. And it's usually real estate, and that's it. Actually, they're successful because of real estate, and that's it. So actually, that's how they get their money. And I'm learning very quickly about life. I love life. For sure, but everybody's on their own, and you have to be on your own as well. So to be your best version is to help yourself to acquire a better life for yourself. And you have to understand straight away that what's coming up in terms of my 60 years of life over here is a different story. I can see myself over here at 60 years of age. I'm understanding straight away I may have a family. I may have a family of my own. I may be doing something with my family. And that's it. I see it anyway. I'm learning how to grow myself differently. I'm definitely helping myself to explore life as much as I can. I'm learning how the aging process goes. I'm learning to help seek out my life over here of different ways and different regards. And I help myself to love life differently. I love life. Actually, it's more how I feel. I feel that no matter what, I'm learning how to help myself grow. So as I grow myself, I'm looking for better ways of dealing with my life, yeah? I'm learning to squeeze out the lemons and the orange. I'm learning how to perform and outperform myself. But that's how I feel. I feel very different. I feel alive. I feel blissful. I'm learning how to actually help myself to grow differently, yeah? So that's how I actually grow. So no matter what, I'm learning very quickly how Olivia's doing her job. And I'm learning how to focus upon helping myself to succeed differently, and I'm learning how fast I am. I'm fast to react, I'm fast to do life. I'm fast to reflect upon my life differently. So definitely I want to drop my medications. I want to drop the medications because I understand that disability support pension is something that's never going to really help me to have more kids. I understand that, so what I do is I'll go work a 9-to-5 job and I'll make more kids out of that. And I'm learning how to understand something. Help myself to also live life differently. I'm learning to love life in the process of everything. I'm learning to become the best version of myself differently, and I'm learning to just help myself to grow. But disability support pension just helps me. Actually, me helps. I can live with $25,000 a year. I can live on that money. I can personally live for myself. But it's for free. I can live that life. But it's much more how I feel. That no matter what, I'm looking to help myself to grow. I'm learning to love my life differently. So it's much more how I feel. So it's much more how I need to help myself to love my life in the process of life. So it's much more how I understand straight away that Jesus Christ himself never wants to be on the disability support pension. So she never relies on the disability support pension. Or she relies on himself working the 9 to 5 job, definitely. Or she definitely relies on himself over here. I'm understanding that it's just the way it is. And it's more money to you anyway. And you get more money in the process if you work overtime and stuff like that. And that's not sure how I feel. And no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about understanding that my life over here is going uphill in terms of my personal development. And I'm personally developing myself, but apparently people are watching as well. I need to go and do a greater job for myself. I need to do a greater job for myself regardless of the situation. So it's not sure how life is pressuring me. Life is pressuring me to grow, and that's how I feel. So during 9 to 5 work, I understand straight away I can drink soy milk quickly. I drink soy milk and I go to work, and that's it. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to help myself to grow, and that's how I'm understanding straight away that I'm getting hungry too. I'm learning quickly about life and aspects of being. I understand I can eat some Weet-Bix and I can watch some TV. I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life. So let me just go and eat something now. I eat some Weet-Bix and I'll go watch some TV for myself so I can do better for myself. And it's more how it is. I see how life is. I see, guys, anyway. What I'm learning over here is a different way of life and different ways of being and different ways of saying something. I'm learning to help myself to grow myself, and I'm helping myself to learn. I'm learning something new. That no matter what I'm doing, I'm learning quickly about life. I'm moving forward. I'm understanding something about life over here. I'm understanding that I need to work. I need to work just like everybody else on the line. I feel like I'm working, I'm doing my work. I'm doing my work on the planet. Whereas I see my work is more nice and beautiful ways of life over here where I'm talking to you guys via audio program. And I never need a cigarette in my life. I'm making sure of it. So I'm learning how to actually perform and outperform myself differently. I'm learning to have ingenious ways of life to help myself to do some nice and beautiful synonyms and antonyms to help myself to grow. I'm saying anyway, so what I'm doing over here is I'm learning how to actually just do life differently and help myself to be at better ways of life for myself. So I'm helping myself to do something that helps me grow. I'm helping myself to love my life, yeah? And that's how I'm learning. I'm learning that nice and beautiful feeling of life differently. I'm helping myself to love my life, yeah? I'm learning that nice and beautiful feeling of moving forward. I'm learning to move forward with myself. I'm learning to do something much greater for myself, to live life much more, to entertain myself differently, and I see straight away what's happening around life. So it's much more how I feel. And I'm learning how to actually help my life to succeed differently. And I'm helping myself to love life in the best ways forward. And that's how I feel. I feel much more different. I feel alive. I feel I need to speak much more words. I feel I need to go and do my life. I feel I need to do my life much greater. Anyway, it's much more how I need to do my life much greater. And I'm learning how to have myself a great time through different ways of life. I'm learning to love my life differently. I'm definitely helping myself to improve. And I'm helping myself to see life much greater for myself over here. And I'm learning to have that nice and beautiful feeling. And that's how I feel. I feel much more alive than ever before. I feel that no matter what, that I'm looking for better ways to do my life much greater. And I'm learning how to do my life much more in the process of everything, yeah? So, it's more how I feel. I feel different. I feel that no matter what, I have a nice and beautiful stance party going on with myself over here. I'm learning how I ask Jesus Christ to help me. I see Jesus Christ saying, you have to do a greater way of life for yourself. I feel that no matter what, that I'm ready to work the 9-to-5 job. For now, I'm learning how to understand something for now. I can go the next 10 days just reminiscing myself in a better way. I'm learning how to grow myself. Anyway, I'm learning how to grow myself differently. And I'm learning how to just have time freedom for myself. And I'm learning how, no matter what, it's much more how I feel. I feel different. I feel much more alive. And it's much more how people are going to try to make me work the 9-to-5 job. And eventually I have to work the 9-to-5 job eventually. But it's because of out of sheer force of my will that I want to do it. And it's because I want to do it, never because other people want me to do it. I mean, understand? Right now, I'm understanding that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly how to develop myself in a beautiful way. I need to develop myself in a beautiful way. I have to project myself moving forward. I have to show myself much more kind arts of love and courage. I have to see much more about life, but I feel that I can never miss a heartbeat of this life. I can never miss anything out of this life. I never have fear of missing out. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to help myself to succeed differently. I'm looking for different courage and different abilities moving forward with myself, especially on the better side of life. I'm not saying I'm just the word I only. I'm just I only. I'm always coming back to the word I. I feel that no matter what, that I'm learning something from my life. I'm learning how to find myself much greater. But I'm helping myself to improve, yeah? And I'm learning how to actually grow myself in the process of life. So I'm looking at understanding that other people are working on the 5 jobs these days. And they're working on the 5 jobs. And their career and legacy is going down in the drain. I'm understanding that. I'm understanding, although I can see straight away how I feel. can see straight away how I need to go and develop myself. I need to develop my life over here. I feel that no matter what, as I grow myself differently, I'm improving myself, and I'm understanding that I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how to understand straight away how I need to grow. I need to grow myself differently, and I'm helping myself to improve my life. But you must understand straight away that you have rights, and if you never want to work overtime, then you never have to. You understand? If people ask you at a 9 to 5 job to work overtime, you never have to. You just say, I have so much to do at home that I need to get some sleep. I understand straight away that I'm learning very quickly that you can just tell them that. I mean, you can say I have so much to do at home, and that's it. And now I never need to get some sleep now, but eventually I do. I understand straight away that no matter what, that I'm learning quickly around my life, so I'm learning very quickly about helping myself to improve. And I'm learning how I'm a lie. So it's more how I feel. I feel life is dragging on and dragging on and dragging on, and I cannot wait to live this life. I cannot wait to live this life. I mean, why is that? I understand because I'm sticking to the word I. I just understand something much more than this world. I understand that no matter what, that my life is doing a great way of life, and I'm understanding straight away I can never wait for anything. And I'm understanding straight away that I'm doing much greater of a service. I'm learning on La Lai so much. I'm learning to help myself to never procrastinate. I'm learning to help myself to do a greater job for myself. I'm learning to love my life, so I'm helping myself to improve. I'm learning how to understand that Socrates drank poison to kill himself. I'm understanding that. I understand Hitler as well drank poison to kill himself as well with his wife. So make sure you never drink poison to kill yourself. I mean, make sure you can live this life to the best of your ability moving forward, so you can understand something about life. That life is challenging, and if you're doing life much greater than you are, then you have to love your life differently, and you have to go and grow yourself differently, and you have to find different ways of saying something. You have to do something to help yourself to improve yourself, at least. You have to be nice to the dogs and to the cats, and you have to be nice to non-human animals. You know, I mean, you have to allow them to do life greater than you. But you have to understand to allow everything to happen. I'm learning very quickly about life, and it's not how I feel. I can say how I feel is very different, and I understand something. I'm understanding straight away how I feel. And there's so much work to do. I'm understanding straight away now I need to just help myself to deliver content. And I'm just being positive all day long. I'm just talking all day long. I'm talking all day long with myself. I'm ahead of the content. I'm ahead of my content. I need to read more. I need to develop myself more. And that's it. Actually, I must understand something around life. I must understand how to control myself. So what I want to do is I want to put some music on. I'll put some music on. And I feel that no matter what, that I have Spotify. I have Spotify over here. I see Spotify. So anyway, I'm learning to help myself to grow. And what I need to do is find YouTube.
And then create a specific.
I say this for later. Save that for later. Let's see, once you press save on YouTube, then go and change the playlist to watch later. And that way you can understand straight away what you're doing. So Armin Burn. So ASOT. So ASOT is the hashtag. So let's have a look. See, anyway, so what I want to explain over here is if my wife and my mum want me to get a car for the kids, first that's a liability for me. But no matter what, I have to understand to agree with them. And now I'm understanding straight away I have to agree, because otherwise the kids and stuff like that, I'm understanding that we can use my mum's car, and it's much better for me as well to learn something. It's much better for me to learn something that eventually I may have to get a car anyway. I may have to get a car for myself anyway, because it's just that time of day for myself. I'm understanding straight away I get much more in age and physically in age, and that's just how I feel. I'm learning very quickly about life, and life is slowing down for me in ways of growth, but it's also accelerating in growth as well. So I'm saying that what I want to do is help myself to talk more words today, and I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how to find much greater empathy toward myself over here, because no matter what, that today has been, let's say, never too many words, but no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how I need to study more, I need to learn more, I need to study much more to become the best version of myself. But to become rich today, you have to go into another country, and you have to invest your money into their real estate over there. And you have to invest your money into that real estate there to make sure that you can prosper. So for example, once I go to my mum's house, I'm understanding that no matter what, that I realize that it's a greater life for me, of course, and I have a greater lifestyle at my mum's house than I do in Australia. And I'm learning very quickly about life, much more, in terms of much better. I'm learning how to grow myself in the process of life, and I'm learning how to understand straight away what to do. But even having one kid is more enough for me, I promise you. And I'm learning very quickly about life. But even if I have no kids, I promise you I'll still live a life much greater. I promise you, if I have no kids, I promise you then I understand it's much more how it is right now for me. I'm feeling my way through life. I'm making sure I'm very smart. I'm making sure I'm very smart to the notion of my life. I'm making sure I'm doing much greater for myself at least. But no matter what, I'm looking for assets. I'm looking for greater ways of being. I'm looking for what I must never do. I'm better than everything in terms of life. I'm better than everything. I'm making sure that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life. So no matter what, that I'm enjoying myself in the process of life. So what I want to do is help myself to deliver content. So as I deliver content, I'm looking for better ways to deal with my life moving forward. And I'm looking to help myself to improve. So no matter what, I'm looking to show myself much more clarity and abundance in terms of my life, but it's actually working out for me anyway. I see how people are getting into the stock market and the trading systems for the stock market, but the stock market never works out for me personally. And I'm learning how to get myself as an asset, more knowledge. Now, more knowledge and selling more knowledge for money is an asset for me. So that's a salesperson who does that. And I'm not saying straight away how I can do that for myself. And I can do that and I can make some money, yeah. But I have to be willing to go and bring that step up. I have to step up into that position to be able to do that for myself. But then I have to be coaching people. And I'm coaching people already. I'm just learning how to grow myself and teach people from my standpoint what life is. And that's it. Brush, it's much more how I'm understanding straight away that no matter what, that my life is improving. I'm improving my lifestyle. I'm making sure that no matter what, that my lifestyle is getting greater and greater through time. I'm making sure that there's more enough secrets and more enough success out there that I can grab onto. I mean, the worst that can happen to me is to go work a 9-to-5 job at my mum's house and stuff like that. So, probably worse can happen than that. But no matter what, apparently it's much more how I feel. I'm feeling that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to understand I'm doing much greater for myself personally. And I'm learning how to understand to stick to a greater way of life for myself. And I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to find courage and success in methods and stuff and persuasion. So I'm understanding straight away how I feel. So no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life. So I'm understanding straight away that what I need to do is grow myself in different ways. I have to be making sure I have more than enough success all the time, to succeed all the time. And I'm learning how to progress. I'm learning how to progress my life. But no matter what, I'm learning how to find much more empathy in terms of what I'm saying, in terms of life. And I'm learning how to have a financial way of life moving forward. So I have no time for friends. I have no time for people. I have time for my family only. And that way I'm learning very quickly about moving forward in the gist of life. So if my family want me to have a car, then I have to agree with them, and I have to, because if I never agree with them, actually it's more how I feel. I feel that they are people who want to have something much more in material, but material is never the way, and I understand that. I understand something. Now you get a car and get something you can afford only, but a car is a liability unless you rent it out to somebody. Unless that car's making you money somehow. And now what can make you money is knowledge. And getting wiser and wiser throughout life and dwelling upon the markets and dwelling upon strategies to grow yourself so you can get some ideas. So that way you can understand straight away that the ideas are all with you. I mean, all the ideas that you need right now are with you. So I'm understanding straight away how I feel. And no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life. So I'm understanding straight away how I feel to grow myself is the best way forward. So that's how I feel. So I'm actually going and growing myself differently, and I'm learning very quickly about life itself. I'm enjoying myself much more. I'm understanding something about life. I'm understanding that no matter what, that there's more to do anyway. So no matter what, I just want to help myself to grow. So that's how I feel. I feel different. I feel much more alive. So I'm not saying to just go and help myself to love life. So that's how I feel. I see. So guys, I feel tired in eye. I realise although my word eye can never feel tired in eye. I feel that no matter what, it's more how I feel in eye. I need to understand straight away in I that I'm learning very quickly in I to love I, to do better. I need to understand straight away to come back to the word I while I speak in the word I, to focus upon I, and to understand straight away that a greater attitude happens with I first. I understand straight away now for myself in I to deliver content in I, to fall asleep in I, is straight away the word I only. I feel that no matter what, it's more how I feel in I. That I feel that no matter what, that life is in I. And life is tough on I. And life is tough on I. And nothing can be tough on I. I mean, as long as you can talk this life and live today, then you can do whatever you want. Especially now, for myself at least, in I, I'm understanding that my I is worth it. With understanding straight away that I let it be. I grow my word I, and I help myself in the word I to deliver content in I. I feel my word I and how I need to grow my word I. I'm understanding that after this, I understand straight away I never want to eat chips ever again. And I never want to eat potato chips ever again, because I have my word I. So I'm understanding straight away now for my word I to do greater. I have to go in the word I and I have to see straight away my word I. I feel that no matter what, it's time to just go and rest in I. Whereas my word I wants to rest. I see it's more how I feel in I. I just do my medications in I. And I feel I growing in I. It's more how I feel in I. And I feel I need to grow my word I. I feel I have to grow my word I. So I'll grow my word I with you guys. And I'm looking to increase the word I knowledge. To understand that no matter what, the word I is definitely something that I need to improve upon. But it's just call it out and talk more of the word I sentences and talk I more, and that way you become all that you want to be in I. I feel my word I over here. I feel I'm definitely improving myself in I. I'm learning the word I. I'm learning my word I. I'm definitely somebody who improves the word I. I want to just go and read something in I. And that way I'm learning the word I sequence. I'm falling into somebody else's plan for my life in I. And I'm learning how to increase my word I. I see Jesus Christ is telling me to just do my word I over here. I feel Jesus Christ's plan is happening in my life. And I feel myself growing in the word I. And I'm learning very quickly in the word I to help myself in the word I. To just sleep in the word I. I'm learning in the word I to develop I. And I'm learning how to grow my word I. A series of life in I. And as I sleep, I want to go into the word I, and I just want to be in the word I. And I want to help myself to speak the word I. Actually, that's it. Actually, there's nothing else I want to do. I promise you, it's more how I'm never boring in the word I, but I feel that no matter what, that my bank balance in the word I needs to be better in the word I. But it's much more how I'm looking to improve my word I, and I'm looking to help myself to grow in the word I. So I'm loving my life in the word I. And I'm learning my word I in the best kind of way forward. So I'm understanding straight away that I feel my word I over here. And my word I says keep going in the word I, but I'm very positive in the word I. I'm very positive in the word I. I just realized something. I realized it's much more how I feel. I feel my heart wants the word I, and I'm always giving the word I as much as I can. But you have to understand at some point you have to increase your word I, and you have to find the idea in the word I. I feel the $1 billion idea, I can see it. I can see the $1 billion idea. But now it's more about how I need to make the money. I need to go make the money to go into that. I'm understanding the money in terms of money that you pour into your business, you make out of the business eventually. And there's only so much time to go. I'm realizing anyway in the word I how I feel. I feel nice and beautiful and different. I feel I need to go and grow my word I differently. And there's only one way to grow the word I, and that's to speak more word I. Unfortunately, that's it.